Good morning, friends and family. Today, as you see, I am posting this beautiful kimchi because my meal for the day, my daughter actually requested for me to put this on my YouTube cooking channel. So this is my own version of making kimchi jjigae or kimchi soup. So here are some of the ingredients that I mainly use on my own version. So first, we start with thin slice ribeye steak. Then we always have to have a nice cut of seafood mushroom. This seafood mushroom, you can actually get this to any Asian store. And it's very tasty and delicious, and especially lots of flavor when you put it in the soup. So simple menu, simple recipe, simple dish, but very flavorful. So here we have our pepper flakes, chopped garlic, our chopped onion leaves. This is my harvest from my backyard. So as you see, I am actually enjoying my garden while I'm cooking. So here we have a sliced silken tofu. I use the firm one so it will not gonna be mixed up with the rest or smush with the rest of the meat. I have this fresh clam. This is also can be bought from any Asian store. And I chop a little bit of fresh shrimp just to add a little bit more flavor. And of course, our kimchi soup is not going to be kimchi soup if we don't have our kimchi. So I put my fresh garlic pepper, black pepper, my olive oil, and sesame oil. So as you see, I don't have any salt in this cooking because once you added all this in one pot, everything goes together and the flavor is So let's start cooking this. Okay, so now we preheat our pot with a little bit of olive oil. So let's start putting our ribeye steak meat. Remember, it has to be thin slice. So I like putting that one by one so that it will start, because this kind of thin slice meat cooks so quickly. So once you put it one by one, as soon as you put it in the hot pot, it cooks right away. So we don't want to overcook our meat because we want to make it sure that we also have some meat on our... Okay, let's continue our meat cooking. Here we go. Oh my Lord, this is one thing that my daughter loves, is when I put the ribeye steak instead of the regular meat. So let's throw that away, keep our surrounding clean. And so the more meat you put, the more flavor you can get. As you see, our meat is going in. And remember, since this is a very thin slice meat, so make it sure that you don't leave it and overcook it, because you want to have some flavor or some textures on your meat when you eat the soup. So once all the meat is all inside, let's continue stirring this up. And as I said earlier, this meat is so thin, as you can see that it's already been cooking. So please keep an eye and pay attention to your meat. So this is really, really, really quick to cook. So let's give that a chance to cook for a little bit, and then we'll come back for a couple minutes. All right, we're back. Let's see our meat. Wow, I told you guys that this thin slice ribeye steak actually cooked very quick. So now that our meat is fully cooked, once you see everything is all turned brown or dark brown, so we're gonna start adding some of our garlic and our onion. Let's put them all together. And of course, my pride and joy, my harvest from my garden, You see, we don't even put any salt or pepper in this part. So because as I said, once you put all these ingredients that I prepared earlier, the taste incorporate together and they taste so the most flavorful soup that you will ever say, wow, Chef Len, I really want to borrow that and I'm going to do that with and serve it to my family. So here is our pepper flakes, right? So I like to add a little bit of fresh ground pepper as well, because this one added more flavor on our meat. So once this is all cooking, man, I can smell the flavor of the meat is already adding to all the vegetables that we put in there. So now let's add our beautiful mushroom, seafood mushroom. So we're gonna put this all together and we need to start putting, if you have chicken broth, that would be perfect. But if you don't have chicken broth, as I always said, we can always incorporate or we can always improvise. So now I'm going to add some water now for our kimchi soup. So, and then once we add all this, let's keep this soup moving and let's keep this soup boiling. So the beauty about this, or the unique part of cooking my kimchi soup, is that I cook it long time in a very low heat once it starts to boil. As you see, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Between the meat, the onion, the garlic, and the mushroom. Wow. So now, because we did not add our chicken broth, so we have to incorporate something else. So let's put a little bit of chicken powder. So that will give all the flavor to the soup. So once you add this, let's keep this baby cooking and boiling. So we're gonna cover this right now and we'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay tuned. Hey, we're back here. As you see, once this baby is boiling, we keep the heat very low. So let's go back to adding the rest of the ingredients. So let's start by putting our shrimp and our clams. Wow. Just the flavor of the clams, shrimp, and the ribeye steak. Oh, it's sure winner. You will not ask for anything more but just to enjoy this beautiful, tasty food. So, especially nowadays when it starts to cool down. So now, as you can see and feel, the air is starting to feel so cold. So we want to eat something that will warm us up. And for those people who wants to party and who wants to drink, this is also a good food to help you out after your alcohol. My nieces, my nephew, and my family, they all love this because they all love to drink. So here we go. We are adding our kimchi. Yay! So since we call this kimchi soup, we want to add all the kimchi as we can, as much as we can. And more kimchi it is, more flavor it is. Wow. So now you see the texture of the soup is starting to look so good. So here we go, familia. Here we go, friends. I hope you're learning something from this cooking. And the one thing I add, yes, we don't add salt. As you see, we did not put any salt. Why? Because kimchi itself already have a lot of salt. Remember, they're fermented. So they usually get preserved by putting salt, a lot of salt. So now I add a drop of sesame oil. So that adds a lot of flavor in our soup. So while this kimchi is cooking, we want to add our tofu on top so that the flavor will go together, adds everything up, and there you have it. So We are not going to put too much pressure on our tofu because we want our tofu to be nice and firm. So I use silken tofu and making sure it's firm. Silken tofu has more flavor and it tastes better. So let's keep this boiling and we'll see it after it's getting ready. Stay tuned. Okay, friends and family, we're back here. As you see, our kimchi soup is boiling. And this is how you're going to serve it. Nice, steamy and boiling. Because this is the best part of how to eat this kimchi soup. You can actually eat this with rice or just plain soup as it is. But again, as I said, this is one good meal, especially when cold season is here. And of course, lots of party, lots of drinking, best way to eat this. And here, let's have some taste of this beautiful soup. Please come and get it. Again, thank you for watching my cooking show. Until next time, please like and subscribe. And you have a wonderful, wonderful and safe holiday. Thank you.